Guys, welcome in. It is Brad with College SportsCast. Just me. I'm here to talk about the end of the season for the Kentucky Batcats at the College World Series. Hey guys, welcome back. It is Brad with College SportsCast. Glad you guys are with me this afternoon. Unfortunately, it's not for what we wanted to be here for. So today looks like the Cats are being manhandled by Florida to end their season at Omaha with only 4 teams remaining after this morning's game. The Cats have had an amazing season, an awesome season, and I do not want that to be overshadowed. So we're going to do this kind of quick, but I do want to get that in. So we're talking about Kentucky baseball here. Omaha, they started out with a great win, a walk-off, amazing by Mitch Daly. The very first game in Omaha, first trip ever. They started off beating NC State 5-4 in walk-off fashion. Mitchell Daly, who had been there with Texas at the College World Series before, ends the game. Ryan Nicholson hit a ninth inning home run. He also hit a ninth inning home run 2 days ago in a loss 5-1. And he hit a ninth inning home run as in that game as well. So a few things that I want to talk about just real quick here. If you're watching on Facebook, you can now help support us by sending stars and subscribe as well. 99 cents a month. A couple of ways you can help support us. Get that in there real quick. But these Cats, man, I mean, to make it as far as they did, Nick Mingione has done an amazing job. I'm very, very proud of these Cats. To be honest with you, for this season, disappointing, sure, the way it has ended. But when you don't win at all, I mean, every other team is going to lose some way. Making it first time ever to the College World Series, to Omaha, was an amazing feat. I'm so glad that I got to go to the Super Regional and be there. It was an amazing time just to be there and see us beat such a good team in Oregon State and hold Travis Pisana, who will probably be a top 1, 2, 3 pick in the MLB draft coming up. Held him to like 1-for-7 or 1-for-8 in the 2 games, and swept them 2-0 at home. I'm so glad that I got to be there for that. But I will say this. There's a few things here that kind of come back to haunt them. I've been saying for a while that I thought the bullpen work was going to haunt them today. Absolutely, definitely. So Kentucky has been winning these games behind 2 starters mainly, Trey Poozer and Mason Moore. They had already pitched. So the guy who pitched the Saturday games this year, Dominic Nyman, started today. He didn't even get 2 outs before he got knocked out. I left the bullpen in all game long here, and Florida can just knock the cover off the ball. I mean, they have 7, 8 guys that's 10 plus home runs on this team, and they are showing it today. The game is not officially over when I am doing this, but it will be by the time this plays. So, um, you know, Jack Caglione gets his record 75th home run record for Florida. They get a grand slam in the first inning. This game was never in doubt, but so the pitching, the bullpen pitching comes back to haunt them. And a couple of things that I thought was pretty telling here in the College World Series. So Kentucky's known for kind of the small ball and creating runs. And here at the College World Series, in the 3 games that they have played, they have not been able to do that. They have not been able to steal bases like they normally do. They have not been able to sacrifice bunt, sacrifice flies. They have not been able to manufacture runs across the plate like they normally do. They got 2 squeeze plays in the super regionals against Oregon State and scored runs. And they got some wild pitches and got a bunch of stolen bases. And that's kind of one of Kentucky's MOs. That's what they're known for. And they've really not been able to do that here at the College World Series against this way better competition here. I am proud of the way they have played. They won a game, and besides this game today, they've had a good showing. Besides this game today, Florida's a tough out, man. They can knock the cover of the ball. I have been picking them all along, to be honest with you. I was on board with them last year. They made it all the way to the championship series last year. I was eyeing Jack Caglione all year long, and ironically, I was picking them this year in the regions and the super regionals. I even took a little flack because I was picking them, and here they are. They're the team that knocks us out at the College World Series, which, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, with the teams left, I'll talk about it in a little bit, but I'm probably going to be hoping that Florida pulls this out probably. So I'm not an A&M fan. I'm not a Tennessee fan. It is what it is. So Kentucky has not manufactured runs in the College World Series here. And then I also talked about that Ryan Walsmith was going to have to come alive, that he really had struggled and hadn't done much in the playoffs. And he still hasn't. Outside of Ryan Nicholson, a few hits by Nick Lopez, a home run today by Petrie, Daly's walk-off, and Nolan McCarthy hit a home run in the first game as well. But Ryan Walsmith could never get Devin Burks has not done nothing. And Walsmith's our leadoff hitter. He all season long, he averaged before the playoffs, he was like 360, 370 batting average. And he's just struggled. And he never could come alive here at the College World Series. And I think it cost Kentucky. They needed him. They needed him to show his bat, and he really hasn't done that. So you combine that with the relief pitching woes and not being able to create some runs, manufacture runs the way Kentucky normally does. Normally, I mean, they lead the nation in stolen bases. They just haven't been able to do that here at the College World Series. So, Florida knocks them out. They will move on here. But I will say this, and for all the fans that's going to badmouth how they played today and what they look like, Kentucky was in the College World Series for the very first time. Coach Mingione had so many good moments and statements, and with his family and with his son, and praising Jesus. And, it was just really good to see. Coach of the Year, at least two different publications have put him as Coach of the Year in baseball. He's done an amazing job. Let's not act like Kentucky being here was not a big deal, because it was. And hopefully they can build on this, and Coach Mingione can get them there again and maybe make a little bit more noise in the College World Series the next time. So that's my hope. Ryan Nicholson was fantastic all playoff long. He was kind of quiet today, but he had been fantastic. And I'm proud of these cats. Wall Smith will probably be a first rounder. He just has struggled in the playoffs. And I knew that the Kentucky was going to need him in the College World Series. I said before this began, he was going to have to show up. And to be quite honest with you, he really hasn't. And I think that was costly. It was costly to the Cats. Devin Burks is another one that really hasn't done anything. And good players. But they just have struggled in the playoffs here at Omaha as well. So, all right. Kentucky's had a great season. Make sure that I put that up there. A fantastic season by the Cats. 46 wins is the most ever. They first time they ever hosted a super regional. First time they ever won a super regional. First time they ever made the College World Series. The first win at the College World Series. So they had an amazing season, and you got to give them their props. Unfortunately, it ended with a sour taste here because of the way that it ended and the way they looked today. But fantastic season by the University of Kentucky and the Batcats. So got to put that in there. And, of course, number 2, Kentucky's season ends before the semifinals. The semifinals are going to start here in just a little bit. There's only going to be 4 teams left, and they are going to lose here to the Florida Gators in Omaha. And Texas A&M beat them the other day 5-1. So this is their second loss. It's a double elimination. But there's only going to be 4 teams left. They made it as the 5th team here left in the country, and you got to give them their props. I'm proud of these cats. Great season, you guys, and looking forward to what Coach can put together and maybe keep a few of these guys and get us back there again, as hard as that'll be. But let's build off of this. All right, so next will be Florida State and Tennessee. They've already played once. Tennessee got the late walk-off win over Florida State. There was a questionable strike call at the end of that game. We will see. And the other one is going to be Florida and Texas A&M will be the other semifinal here. So I just want to talk about this for just a few minutes here, and who will win. You got 4 teams left here. Who will win? I'll be honest with you, this Tennessee team is pretty formidable, but I really like the bats of this FSU team as well. So you can't count them out, but it's going to be awful hard for FSU to beat them twice. Not saying it can't happen once here, but I think it's going to be awful hard for them to beat them twice. Texas A&M is a different story here. They're down one of their best pitchers. They're down Braden Montgomery, and Laviette is got a hamstring problem. So, like, their 3 best players are out. They do have the win over them the other day. So Florida's going to have to beat them twice. But this Florida offense, I'm just not so sure that Florida isn't the team to take here. If A&M was healthy, I think A&M gets them here pretty easily, with already having the win and Florida having to beat them twice, tonight and tomorrow. So, this may come down to Florida and Tennessee. I'm pretty sure you guys know who I'll be pulling for if it does. So, but that's not to take anything away from Tennessee. This Tennessee team is fantastic. And they're going to be hard to beat because as good as Florida is with their bats is as good as Tennessee is with their bats. It's going to come down to pitching. Who can outpitch and hold one of these teams down to 4 or 5 runs and the other one gets 8 or whatever. So that's how I think it'll play out. Florida was barely in this thing, but I knew all along they had the hitting and they showed it. So if you with me today here, I'm going to do this real quick. Home field apparel, put this up here on the screen real quick. You can premium license college vintage apparel here, over 180 teams. Use our code CSCast for a 15% first time buyer discount. You got some cool retro logos, mascots, throwback items. There's a bunch of cool vintage baseball stuff. Tennessee's on there, Florida State's on there. So check them out. There's a bunch of cool vintage baseball stuff on there as well, but check them out. And that's all, guys. I appreciate you being with me, and do something quick here, and we will be back. I'll do a little bit of something here for a pick'em, and when it's down to a final series. So y'all have a good one.